It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. U.S. border communities declare disasters as Title 42's expiration sets the stage for migration rush. Okay, now I believe this was purposely set up. Now, I'm not saying this was purposely set up in a event where, concerning the expiration date, because everything is bound to expire in this society, right? Rather if it's rent, bills, your phone bill, you might have bought a online subscription for Xbox One, PS4, PS5. You might have bought some food, tell you it expires on this day and such. So I'm not talking about this whole thing being set up as concerning the expiration for Title 42, but more like, you have to ask yourself, how do these migrants know that Title 42 expired yesterday? Somebody had to tell them, right? So again, I believe this whole thing was set up. I believe it was all set up. We know that the so-called elites, they have always had plans for spreading mass chaos. Okay? In order to get people to riot, complain, protest, rally. So then they, the so-called elites, could come with their solution, which will only draw them even closer to their new world order. It's all about creating chaos so people can go out there and riot, so then they can come with their solution. That's what it all boils down to. So here it says, with tens of thousands of migrants, and for those who's not familiar with Title 42, okay, Title 42 was basically a bill that was passed by the United States, which basically forbid migrants, which a migrant is what the U.S. calls a illegal immigrant or a illegal alien. Okay, so Title 42 basically prevented migrants that had country-born illnesses or diseases from whatever country they were coming from. It basically prevented migrants with those country-born illnesses from entering into the United States of America. So with the expiration of Title 42, basically migrants with whatever disease or virus they have, basically whatever they have, with the expiration of Title 42, they will now be allowed to enter into the United States. Okay, now they're saying that these migrants are seeking an asylum, but come on, you can't trust what the media tells you nowadays. They'll tell you they're seeking an asylum. No, they're going to let these people just roam around freely. They're going to give them houses, they're going to put them in neighborhoods. People are going to start getting sick and diseases are going to start spreading because this is what the so-called elites want. Okay, just look on the back of your $1 bill. What do you see? Ordo ab chaos, which is what? Order out of chaos. And indeed, you can get chaos from diseases spreading from, outside sources, because there are viruses and diseases that people accumulate from outside of the United States that people don't get in the United States of America. So imagine that. You got people with cholera. You got people with tuberculosis. You got people with scarlatina. You got people with typhoid, with typhus. You got people with chickenpox, smallpox. You got people with MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome. You got people coming in here with type 3 flu. You got people coming in here with Ebola. Yeah, I said it. The E word. Ebola. Okay, you got people coming in here with that. You got people coming in here with Crown Royale 19. And there's many other viruses out there that they simply don't tell you about in the news, that people have. Viruses that eat away at your brain cells. Viruses that eat away at your flesh. Yeah, people actually have these kind of viruses. And guess what? They're getting ready to migrate into the United States of America. Why? Because it's all a part of the plans of the so-called elites. So with tens of thousands of migrants massed in northern Mexico, which is, Mexico is below Texas. It's in the southern region. It's the southern region from the United States of America. The expiration overnight of the U.S. Crown Royale 19 era border restriction policy known as Title 42. So it is a policy, not a bill. So excuse me for that. I called it a bill earlier, but apparently it is a policy. Has American border communities on edge. Yeah, well, you got the so-called elites to blame for that, right? Worried an already challenging humanitarian crisis will worsen as crossings climb. You see that? We're boarding up like there were a hurricane coming. Victor Trevino, the mayor of Laredo, Texas, told CNN Thursday evening. So you can clearly see where this is all heading. People are already on edge. So you know what it's going to lead to? It's going to lead to protests. It's going to lead to rallies. It's going to lead to complaints. It's going to lead to unrest. People getting taken out of their comfort zone. Which ultimately, this is what we want as well. When I say we, I speak of the hopeful members of the elect, because we're hoping to be of the elect to receive salvation, redemption, mercy, forgiveness from on high, from Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. We're hoping we're hoping that these riots and things, these riots and protests and rallies break out. Why? Why are we hoping for these things? Because we want to get the hell up out of America. We're sick of this goddamn country. We're in the mind state of 2 Peter 3:13. The scriptures say, the captive hasteneth that he may be loose and that he may not die in the pit. The system. The pit. Okay? The trap. This whole country is nothing but a trap anyway, especially for the Israelites. But the South Texas counties of Cameron, and if I'm saying that correctly, Cameron, and Hidalgo issued disaster declarations ahead of the order's expiration at 11:59 p.m. ET, Eastern Time, Thursday, to help free upstate and federal resources as U.S. troops, agents, and other federal workers surged this week toward the southern border to help handle a possible crush. And it's all being set up. This is all part of the grand scheme of things when it comes to the so-called elites. This is what they want, because they want to bring in their NWO. But you see, there's a wicked NWO and there's a righteous NWO. And indeed, the righteous NWO is what's going to be established here on the earth, and that's going to start with when Yahweh Shah returns. And For those who don't know, Yahweh is the true name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Still, officials hit a roadblock late Thursday as federal judge temporarily blocked the Biden administration from releasing screened and vetted migrants from Border Patrol without court notices, a method it had planned to use to alleviate immense strain on border facilities. The ruling sideliners a tactic used by prior administrations and is very harmful in light of potential overcrowding, U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas told CNN on Friday. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I need to read there, man. Mass chaos could possibly break out this summer, you know. We're already in the month of May and it's starting to warm up outside, you know. Now, we also got to remember that in the book of Matthew, Yahweh said, pray that your flight be not in the wintertime. Okay, because in the wintertime, you know, it's dead. Everything is dead. Plants, life, you know, certain insects. But more importantly, man, I mean, who can survive out in the cold forever? So, you know, like Yahweh said, pray that your flight be not in the wintertime. So this year could very well be the year that Yahweh returns. Man, look, let me just scroll down here. Okay, so, matter of fact, let me do this. There's been a lot of articles coming out ever since the expulsion of Title 42. Okay. So let's get straight to the point here. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 16. Let's do verse 16. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. And what is a sedition? A sedition is a rebellion or a uprising against a government or a higher authority. And what are some examples of a sedition? Protests, riots, rallies, people taking to the streets, expressing their concerns, their disapproval. You see, these various acts that people will indeed take in the future are examples of sedition, in which there are already seditions going on. It's not that frequent here in the United States of America, but it will be, as it is prophesied. And invading one another, people invading the streets in large numbers. They shall not regard their kings. Your modern day kings today will be your presidents. Okay? Nor they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Your princes will be the lower government operatives, such as your Senate, your House of Representatives, your Republicans, your Democrats, your Congress, the judicial system. These will be examples of your princes. So people are not going to regard what the president or what the Congress or what the Senate have to say. They're not going to care in those days, because your Senate, your congressmen, your representatives, they're going to get on TV. Okay, they're going to tell you, please calm down. We're figuring out a solution. Because people's waking up to the BS of the United States of America. How many times have the U.S. said that we're coming with a solution to fix the problem? And yet the problem has yet to be fixed. They've been saying this for decades. Decades they've been saying we will come with a solution to fix the problem. And what solution have they came with What problems have been fixed by any of these presidents? Nothing. So it's coming to a time and point to where people is like, wait a minute, haven't we not heard this before? Did not George Bush back in 2001 didn't he say they was gonna fix the problem, and yet we're still at war? People are still over there, and U.S. troops are still there, still in Afghanistan and Iraq, fighting a war for what? For peace? No. The scriptures tell you through peace he shall destroy many. Okay, that's in Daniel's. No. I forgot the actual precept, but people is waking up to this whole corruption, this whole corrupt chain that's going on within the government. People's waking up to it, and they're just not taking the U.S. BS no more. Like I was watching Apostle Ariam Lob's live stream earlier, and he said it like people antennas are are activating, and people are starting to see what's really going on, which is what going to lead to sedition. People's not gonna keep buying this story of everybody. I mean, not story. People's not gonna keep buying this whole thing of calm down, got the situation under control. We're looking to fix the problem right now. People is not gonna keep buying that BS anymore, man. So it's gonna lead to seditions, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. So on to the next one.